Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard Neal. This is a indistinct industrial location where I am given the opportunity to do some filming, and not because of any other reason than that I have to get something done. I'm filming for you. My day after this will be filled with doing laundry that will eventually be folded, put in boxes, and delivered to a nun who will be taking it to the homeless for Christmas. So I've got shirts and a few warm sheets, not necessarily blankets, and other such things that will keep somebody warm this Christmas season. I know this is airing long before Christmas, but that's irrelevant. And I have watched for you the new dramedy slash perhaps horror film Jojo Rabbit, which is the story of if Charlie Brown were a Nazi. Growing up in Germany during the war. Now, I have to say, first of all, that this story was truly agonizing for me because Jojo, who is not a rabbit but a little boy, is the same age that I was when I lost my mother. And that was a very painful time for me, and the angst and the things that were going on. But Jojo is a patriot. He's been taught all of his life that Jews are evil and that Nazis are good and that there is a need for purity. And he is the perfectly pure little boy who's going out there, and his imaginary friend is an encouraging but, of course, childlike and somewhat screwed up Hitler. And his mother, played by Scarlett Johansson, is a powerful, determined, and utterly sexy woman. Now, I don't want to give things away, which is very hard for me to describe this film, but you must understand that this is a film that tells us something about people. People are trying to be who they think society wants them to be. And this scared little boy is trying to be a good Nazi, not because he is evil, but because he believes this is right. He's been taught that this is right. And as wrong as he is, and as much as you wish you could just take this child into your arms and say, boy, that's just not how the world works. You can't, because this is a movie. And when you see the horrors this child has suffered when he lifts his little hand covered in blood and raises his thumb to say, I know I'm going to make it, there is a certain inner strength to his fear and a certain concept that we all need to know, which is that just because somebody is wrong doesn't mean they've got a bad heart. And that's a very painful message for America right now, because it's like we had the protests where people were saying, you know, the Confederate flag is our heritage. And, well, yes, it's a dark part of our heritage that we might like to forget if we're good people. I mean, you know, it was not a war about slavery, no matter how much we wish it were. The Civil War was a war about keeping a country together and a war about the economy. There was the result that we got rid of slavery in most cases, but let's be honest, we didn't do a terribly good job of it, and, you know, it was on its way out anyway. America has always been a country that resisted change, oddly, despite the fact that we were quite the progressive nation. So that's one of those things. You know, Jojo is a poorly educated, terrible human being with a good heart. And this story grows even more conflicted as it goes on, as this little man experiences the world he lives in. I mean, again, There are major parts to the story I don't want to give away, but I just want you to imagine this one fact of the story. It does happen very near the end, that a Nazi soldier, his dying act is to save a child from an American soldier. Our soldiers in this movie commit war crimes. It's not embellished, it's not pushed, it's very much in the background. But a fact of the movie Jojo Rabbit is that American soldiers commit war crimes. Now, again, this movie is saying just because you're a good guy doesn't mean everything you do is good. And just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean everything you do is bad. Right. And Michael Moore recommends it because, I don't know, but it's an important message that we all need to learn if America is ever to heal from the Trump era. And this could be a movie that's come too soon. It would be much more poignant after this business is over. But of course, at a certain point, we Americans believed that the war was just a matter of battles from over, that we had won in all things but treaty, and that battling down the remainder of the Nazis and knocking the remainder of the Japanese war fleet off its keel was all but guaranteed us. So, should you see Jojo Rabbit, I'm going to have to say that you as an American, you as a decent human being, are depriving yourself if you do not see this movie. I am not saying it is a must-watch, because that would imply that I really liked it. I am not saying it is a see it if you're bored, because it's certainly better than that. But this is a film that should be placed on your watch list. It ranks right up there with Requiem for a Dream, which is a wonderful piece of filmmaking. It is simply hard to watch a second time because, oh dear God, you care about these characters and they just get ripped to shreds. So yes, Jojo Rabbit is a funny movie. I remember the audience laughing as it reached its conclusion. But at least to me, it was a very painful film with a lot of dark and sad moments and horrors inflicted upon a child. So, put it on your watch list. Before you die, I think you should really see this movie. It's not a movie you need to run out and see right now. And I would say that after the next election, where a Democrat wins, because Democrats are really going to feel for this movie, watch this movie. Or if you're a Republican, yes, definitely go out and see this movie, because it makes Nazis sympathetic. Just in case any of you want to know, I'm Jewish. So, personal undertones here. I'm also Richard. I will see you later.
Hello folks, I'm Fred the Facehugger, reminding you to like and comment on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, because if you don't, Random Street Theater might not be around forever. And for every 1,000 subscribers, we're going to take a pound of trash out of the ocean. We don't have that many yet, so get subscribing. Tell your friends, or I facehug you. Mwah!